On Amazon, there are 29 reviews of my first book. Most of them are positive, but 3 of them are negative, at least to some degree. And of course, because of the human brain's negative bias, the negative ones stick out in my mind and have more emotional impact than all the other positive reviews combined. I've been using 3 reframes for this, and they work so well, I'm not bothered by the negative reviews. In fact, I'm actually glad they are there. I'm not kidding. There's a difference between trying to think positive or putting a positive spin on something and actually reframing it. You can tell if you have a genuine reframe if your feelings change. I really, honestly, do not feel any negative feelings from these critical reviews. If I still did, then I would know that I'm just trying to talk myself into something I don't really believe. Here are my 3 reframes. 1. I get to find out what some people don't like about my book, and since I plan on writing more books, it might be useful information. 2. A few bad reviews will help people make a better decision about buying my book, which should, in theory, prevent people who wouldn't like it from buying it, thus improving my reviews over time and saving people the trouble of getting something they don't want. 3. The few bad reviews keep a buyer's expectations from soaring too high. If a potential customer only read the positive reviews, she might think self-help stuff that works is the answer to all the world's problems, which it isn't. Not only that, but the bad reviews all criticize the same thing. And it is one of the things that the positive reviews almost all praise, that the chapters are short. The people who criticized it wanted more detail. The ones who praised it liked the fact that the chapters are brief, to the point, and practical. By having both reviews on there, a potential book buyer can make a better, more informed decision. In other words, about the bad reviews, I can genuinely say, that's good. I created these reframes deliberately. When I first read those reviews, I felt bad. It was a little upsetting. My feelings were a bit hurt. So I sat down and wrote as many reframes as I could in a half an hour. I set a timer and made myself continue to come up with reframes until the timer went off. And then I looked through them. Most of them were not very good, and some of them were downright stupid, but the 3 above made sense to me and changed the way I felt about the reviews. That's a good method for creating a reframe. Make a long list. In your effort to come up with reframes, you'll come up with good ones and bad ones, but some of the bad ones will give you ideas that'll help you come up with good ones. How's that for a reframe of the dumb ideas? Set a target, either a number or a set amount of time, and set the target before you start. I will come up with 20 reframes, or I will keep coming up with reframes for 15 minutes. The more important the issue is, the more time you are justified to put into it. The more time you put into it, or the higher your target number, the more likely you are to come up with a really great reframe. Don't judge your reframes until you're done coming up with them. Just keep going. When the time is up, or when you've hit your number, then look through them and see if any seem like sensible ways to look at the situation. Circle the ones that make sense to you or strike a nerve, or write them on a piece of paper and post them somewhere. Let the new ways of thinking sink in and see if they make a difference. When you find a good reframe, something that made you angry or afraid or hurt could actually turn into something you're glad about. The end. This has been a chapter from the book, How to Change the Way You Look at Things in Plain English. This is Adam Lee Kahn on The Atom Bomb. This Atom Bomb podcast episode is sponsored by Anchor, a podcast platform, the one I'm using to make this podcast. It's super easy to use and allows you to easily create your own podcast. You can record and edit your audio right onto the app. In fact, you can do everything on your phone. Anchor also makes it easy to monetize your podcast and get wide distribution. Anchor automatically makes your podcast available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and more. You can download the Anchor app for free or go to anchor.fm to get started.